Very good evening to you tuned in to UBC TV. Welcome to UBC News Tonight, the first of its kind this week, today being a Monday, the 11th of October 2021. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Elizabeth Nakakoni is the lady on our sign language corner. In our first story this evening, Minister for Education and Sports Janet Museveni has implored officials from the Ministry of Gender, Education, Civil Society and Local Government to re-investigate why families are unsafe for the girl child during the COVID-19 lockdown. She was speaking during the commemoration of the International Day of the Girl Child at Kololo Independence Grounds in Kampala. She said that inclusive participation of girls and young women in digital revolution requires repositioning of the family. We have details to this story.
The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development has adopted the international theme to commemorate the Day of a Girl Child, Digital Generation, Our Generation. Girls in Uganda have come out with collective recommendations to government to support their inclusive digital participation. These include affirmative action for those interested in studying ICT course and the use of digital platforms to report cases of abuse. According to civil society organizations, 80% of Ugandan children and youth live in rural areas and cannot access online learning. These want government to establish digital literacy as part of school curriculum for primary and secondary schools.
Ensure that we take part in ICT lessons at school to improve on our digital skills. Reporting cases of online cyberbullying.
One of the girls shared with us that she or her family is unable to pay for data to access learning online. Worried that their private information may be leaked online and make them vulnerable to insults and attacks.
The Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, says ICT is essential, critical and enabler of social and economic development.
Accordingly, Uganda's Vision 2040 identifies ICT among the key fundamentals as well as an opportunity to spur our transformation into a modern and prosperous country. It is clear from the above that the policy and legal framework for ICT penetration has properly been laid by government. Our investment as government in the next 4 years include addressing the problem of limited network coverage so as to increase ICT penetration.
Nevertheless, girls cannot develop skills for contemporary learning if their families abdicate from their responsibility.
As parents and the entire community, we look on helplessly as we neglect our responsibility and allow early pregnancies and marriages, incest and defilement to thrive before our very eyes. Then how on earth can we even begin to talk about the digital revolution? Knowing very well that the digital revolution has its own challenges. And this is where children need help most. Yes.
The Ministry for Gender, Labour and Social Development has committed to come up with measures that will ensure mindset change among the community.
We shall focus our energies to mindset change, to target parents, teachers, traditional and cultural leaders, to change the cultural norms, tradition and other aspects of society which presupposes and reinforces the notion that girls cannot study sciences, technology, engineering, mathematics.
Minister of Gender also launched the multimedia campaign that is meant to promote and protect the well-being of girls and boys in Uganda.
Everyone is responsible. All our children will have a good and brilliant future.
Although girls are excluded in digital revolution, United Nations report shows that Uganda is making headway in online learning. I'm Nafka Farida and Abdunasir Luwama in Kololo.
Stakeholders are concerned about the increasing number of gender-based violence among the girl child, most especially in this COVID-19 era. There was an observation that young girls are being harassed in silence. This was during a breakfast meeting to commemorate International Day for the Girl Child and ensuring safety of the same girl child.
Uganda has commemorated the International Day of the Girl Child on the theme Digital Generation, Our Generation, a theme that has not been achieved yet. Some stakeholders say it has instead promoted gender-based violence through e-learning. Stakeholders including Raising Voices Uganda, Center for Domestic Violence, teachers and students want gender-based violence on the girl child addressed.
So the issue of why we really stick to the girl child is because we are in a gendered world, and a gendered world makes girls have a lot of barriers in their lives. Justice needs to be served so the perpetrators can be held accountable.
To the community, it is about the attitude. To the girl herself, it is about the attitude and the energy she has to stand to that challenge.
Raising Voices Uganda Programs Manager Hassan Mulusi observes that a big number of young girls are harassed in silence.
Most importantly, we are preventing violence against children in schools, specifically the girl. They might not achieve as much until specific efforts and focus is laid on how to support them.
Many things need to happen. One, those girls need a lot of healing, trauma healing.
A head teacher at KCCA Mirembe Primary School, Hanifa Molo Bako, regrets the lockdown on homes as the girl child is most vulneralized. She calls upon parents to guide the children.
They have got challenges, they have taken up adult responsibilities without pay.
Meanwhile, Ministry of Education has set policies and guidelines to be followed by all schools and stakeholders to protect the girl child.
It is out here to tell the public or to communicate, to create awareness on what are the guidelines that are out here to support and protect the safety of this young girl, even when they are using this platform. The guidelines are emphasizing on re-entry aspect. So under re-entry, we have a number of guidelines that are highlighting the steps to take.
Jane Yiramdisha, reporting for UBC in Kampala.
Over 3,000 farmers from 8 villages of Bikwara sub-county, that's in Kagadi district, are seeking assistance from the Office of the Prime Minister, Department of Disaster Preparedness, after a heavy hailstorm destroyed crops and property there. Kagadi District Production Officer Dr. Moses Amanya named 10 affected villages of Kichwamba, Lusaka, Rugara, Ngoma, Karambi, Matuntu, Kasura and Halibaki in Bikwara sub-county.
Tragedy has hit Bwikara sub-county in Kagadi district as hectares of plantations for beans, maize, coffee, sugarcane, sweet potatoes, tea have been destroyed by hailstorm. The affected farmers are seeking for support from the Office of the Prime Minister.
Everything is totally destroyed. Therefore, as a leader, I do request the Office of Prime Minister through that program of preparedness and disaster to come on the ground to help our people because they have children. Generally, our children are going back to school, and then every family, as we talk, they are very stuck.
And therefore, we request for the government of Uganda to give us assistance of what has happened here. As how you've seen, I have been with 2 acres of beans. I have lost everything, totally everything is down.
The affected farmers regret the efforts put in farming during the lockdown by engaging in agriculture that the disaster has hit twice since this year began. At least over 3,000 affected farmers from 8 villages in Bwikara sub-county lost over 1,000 hectares of crop to the devastating hailstorm, which lasted for over 5 hours on Sunday.
Former presidential candidate Dr. Kizza Besigye and allies in politics have unveiled a political master plan to expand the frontier in the fight to oust the NRM from leadership. The People's Front for Transition, led by Dr. Besigye, has met at JEMA offices in Kampala.
The People's Front for Transition Pressure Group is seeking to end the NRM government reign before 2026 general elections. At JEMA offices in Mengo, Dr. Kizza Besigye said there is a need for action and confront the crisis that this country is facing.
Every possible person or group to rally around the problem. And as I pointed out, we are not the problem. The problem is the injustice, the entrenched injustice in the country.
Despite the absence of NOP, Besigye added that the formation of the new pressure group will deal with the current crisis.
They needed further engagements, and that may take some time. They think we can go ahead, and when those engagements are done, they will join us.
Dr. Besigye clarified that the pressure group welcomes all members who are agents of change.
In order to achieve that, every political actor who is change-seeking is desirable to be as active as possible, as coordinated as possible in delivery of that message.
Kampala Mayor and FDC Vice President for Central Region, Salungi Lyasirikwago, hinted on the debate on the proposal to deny suspected murderers bail.
I'm speaking about millions of, hundreds of Ugandans who are languishing in jail. So this injustice, that is one aspect of it, because it's multifaceted. But this injustice is real. Make no noise against those who stand up and are saying enough is enough.
Ken Luchams and Lubega Mukaku are also members of the new pressure group.
The way we are trying to fight is intended to redeem all those people who are oppressed, including all the political parties.
Unemployment bites you, the young people. And we are saying now is the time.
PFT attracted a number of opposition politicians, including former presidential candidate Samuel Walter Lubega Mukaku of DP Bloc and John Ken Luchams of Conservative Party. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News, Mengo.
His Beatitude Theodorus II, Pope and Patriarch of Alexandria and the leader of the Orthodox Church in the world, has arrived in Uganda for a memorial service of the late Archbishop of the Orthodox Church in Uganda Metropolitan, John Alwanga the late. He was received at Entebbe International Airport by a delegation of the Orthodox Church hierarchs, clergy and other leaders. He is also to meet President Museveni before visiting Tanzania. He extended condolences to Uganda Orthodox Church for the loss of Metropolitan Lwanga, which he says left a very big gap in the Orthodox Church. He confirmed His Eminence Macarius, the Archbishop of Nairobi, Kenya, as the caretaker of Uganda's Orthodox Church till the appointment of Lwanga's successor. At St. Nicholas Cathedral in Namungona, it was a jovial mood as believers chanted, danced as they waited for the Pope's visit at the cathedral, who didn't make it due to change in the program. UBC News Tonight. Police has warned the People's Front for Transition against holding unlawful gatherings. Police says that the newly formed pressure group should follow the guidelines as stipulated in the Public Order Management Act, including informing the necessary authorities as far as organizing gatherings are concerned. Addressing journalists in Naguru, Police spokesperson Fred Enanga says that police is monitoring the pressure group led by former FDC presidential candidate Dr. Kizza Besigye.
We have the full proof of their clearance from the Ministry of Health on health and safety grounds. And in addition to that, we shall also need proof of their peaceful means through observing the provisions of the Public Order Management Act. You are all aware that, yes, Section 8 on the powers of the IGP or authorized officer was suspended under that section, but the other provisions of the Public Order Management Act on notice of public meetings, notice by authorized officers, still stand. So for that matter, the leaders of the pressure group should therefore know that they have a duty to inform the police about the date, the time, the details, their details as organizers, the location and consent of the venue, the number of persons, the purpose, and any other basic information. So this is very, very crucial for them to get to know that. They also have a duty to adhere to the criteria for public meetings, which is very important. Things like traffic assembly plan, sufficient number of stewards proportionate to the members who are gathering, and so on and so forth. However, if they are not able to meet these demands from the Ministry of Health and also the provisions of the POMA, then we want to advise them probably to avoid using crowded places like markets for their assemblies and look for alternatives that are scientific, digital, and probably lawful at the same time. Ugandans should know that the country has been peaceful for the last 11 months, free from violent protests and demonstrations, and we intend to keep it that way. So we shall not allow for any unlawful assemblies to occur which have the potential of violence, looting, damage and threats to people's lives and disruptions of people's businesses.
Tonight, thank you so much for watching, and at this point we'll take a very short break. Do not miss what we have on return. Thank you so much for keeping with us.
Today in history.
On the 11th of October 1886, Kabaka Mwanga of Buganda appointed Apollo Kagwa Gulemye as the catechumen of the kingdom. Apollo Kagwa had earlier served as the servant in the palace at Munyonyo when some Baganda subjects rebelled against the king and followed Christianity. Kagwa, who was an associate of many of the page boys, survived the onslaught because he was remorseful.
My home, I smile when I think of you, Uganda. My home, my home, I dance when I look at you, Uganda. My home, oh my Uganda.
I know, with you I'll always stay forever. I know, because I feel that we belong together. My home. On my heart, mommy, oh my Uganda.
Hey, mama.
At MTN, we look forward to starting another exciting journey together to grow our home, Uganda.
Getting GoTV was the best decision James has ever made. Finding a good place to watch football was never easy. but it was costly until James discovered something big. Now he can finally enjoy the benefits of homegrown advantage with a decoder and 1 month of GoTV Valley. For just 25,000 shillings, enjoy the world's biggest leagues and cap competitions. GoTV Uganda, love it.
You know, you could just buy a new smartphone from anywhere in Uganda. Dial *175 *94 hash to activate their 100% double data bonus offer on weekly or monthly bundles for 3 months. Better yet, you automatically receive free 1 GB valid for 30 days. You are hooked already, aren't you? Enjoy 100% double data bonus from Airtel. Buy a smartphone from anywhere in Uganda and insert an Airtel SIM card. Dial *175 *94 hash to activate a 100% data bonus offer on weekly or monthly bundles, valid for 3 months. Dial *175 hash and select your preferred bundle to activate a 100% data bonus offer on weekly or monthly bundles, valid for 3 months. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Vaccinated today so we can get closer to the normal way of life. Echa COVID-19 chija kugwa.
Uganda, today is a great day to work towards your dreams. Dial *185 *7 hash and select savings to save as low as 500 Ugandan shillings on regular savings or 250,000 Ugandan shillings for fixed deposits. Airtel Money Super Saver is powered by KCB Bank Uganda. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless. T's and C's apply.
Thank you so much for watching and welcome back from the break. The Higher Education Students Financing Board has opened applications for the 8th code of the study loans to admitted students for the academic year 2021-22 under the Student Loan Scheme. Government of Uganda has allocated 6 billion shillings to facilitate 1,500 beneficiaries.
The Higher Education Students Financing Board has commenced submission of applications of the study loans to be given to admitted students under the undergraduate, diploma and degree programs for the academic year 2021-2022. The Executive Director, Higher Education Students Financing Board, Michael Wanyama, says the award creates access to higher education.
To support 1,500 new cohort of student loan beneficiaries and at least 100 continuing students in the academic year 2021-2022. This is the first of its kind when we are supporting the continuing students who are in their final year.
Since 2014, 11,187 beneficiaries have got loans to study in 130 degree programs and 76 undergraduate diploma courses. However, challenges still encounter on students that fail to clear up their loans.
We check beyond reasonable doubt to ensure that indeed you are not earning any income. If we also discover that you are earning an income, now that's a legal case. You know, for us, the Act does not give us power. But in the future, we envisage a scenario where one has stubbornly refused to pay, then we shall take a legal recourse against him.
In the meantime, the board has allocated a special loan scheme for persons with disabilities this academic year.
That you must be admitted, so you must have a copy of your admission letter. Also attach a copy of your national ID. And we have been passing on this information to the learners that they should get their national IDs, copies of academic certificates or result slips or transcripts which you earlier on obtained. A copy of a birth certificate is also a requirement, a copy of the recent passport photo.
Applicants are given 2 months to submit documents and are required to pay a non-refundable loan proceeding fee of 53,000 Ugandan shillings. Government has set aside 6 billion shillings to support the scheme. Lydia Chomkama, UBC News.
Parents have been urged to monitor what their children do with their electronic devices, especially in the lockdown period. This has been disclosed by Joan Atimango, a programs officer at Girl Up Initiative Uganda, in commemoration of the International Girl Child's Day.
Girl Up Initiative Uganda has celebrated the day of the International Day of the Girl Child with vendors of Chirombe Market in Luzira. The day was characterized with a sensitization mass drive with girls holding placards describing how to handle the girl child.
The children are at home, not studying, they are bored, parents are also home, they do not have jobs. So you find these girls end up joining bad peer groups where they end up getting either pregnant, some of the girls have been defiled.
Joan Atimango, a programs officer at Girl Up Initiative Uganda, advised parents to monitor what their children view on electronic devices besides studying.
In a digital era where very many young children are using the internet, but it also has negative impact on the girls. So I would love to encourage our parents especially to please guide these children as they use digital platforms. And away from the digital platforms, we have been experiencing lots of teenage pregnancies happening. Very many children are being married off because of the COVID-19 situation. Very many girls are out of school. But I would love to encourage each and everyone, protecting the girl is for each and every one of us, not just their parents. And even to the girls out there, I would love to encourage you all, please speak up. If abuse is happening at home, please do not stay silent.
However, some parents attributed the increasing injustices to the girl child to poor dress code of children and blamed parents buying seductive clothing for children.
Nyambala y'abaana abawala yimbi ate abaana abawala tosobola kuŋŋamba okujjako nga n'omuzadde naawe toyina bwesigwa eri Katonda kankiyite bwe ntyo tosobola kukkiriza mwana kwambala bubi n'afuluma ennyumba gw'olowooza ki ky'abagenda okukola ng'ayambadde bubi obuwala obulina okubeera munda abuteeka kungulu n'atambula.
Vendors also attributed the increasing sexual injustices to the digitalization era, which seems so traditional to parents.
Omwana ogenda okumwogerako agamba egyo mirembe gyali gyammwe bannange si mirembe gyaffe. Ennyambala ennungi n'omusajja asobola okukola ki okulaba ate tosobola kubanga ogenda kufuna musajja n'akutwana ng'oyambala bubi.
This year's International Day of the Girl Child was on the theme Digital Generation, Our Generation. So
Airtel Uganda has the best and most affordable rates when it comes to withdrawing and sending money. Withdraw money for as low as 330 shillings up to a maximum of 12,500 shillings. Sending money is just as affordable as ever. Absolutely unbeatable. Use Airtel Money on the most affordable network with the largest network of Airtel Money branches in Uganda. Dial *185# to get started. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field could not be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
Uganda, today is a great day to work towards your dreams. Dial star 185 star 7 hash and select savings to save as low as 500 Ugandan shillings on regular savings or 250,000 Ugandan shillings for fixed deposits. Airtel Money Super Saver is powered by KCB Bank Uganda. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless. T's and C's apply.
And now welcome to UBC Sports News Tonight. Uganda's world kickboxing champion Patricia Apollo's chances of defending her crown have been boosted with a cash offer from Kampala Central Division. The money will help her travel to Egypt for the World Kickboxing Championships, as we see in this detail.
Ugandans should mark 23rd October on their calendar as the date Patricia Apollo will enter the ring in defense of her world lightweight kickboxing title. Apollo will face Argentine Andrea Salazar in a 9 rounds, 2 minutes each kickboxing, no elbows and knee contest in Cairo. Her trip has now been assured after a $5,000 cash injection from Kampala Central Division.
I want to thank the entire council, where I am the mayor, with my councillors who agreed to support Madame Patricia Apollo, who will be traveling in 2 weeks' time to Cairo for a title fight. So what we did as UPBC, we sat down and said, why not? Other than being in professional boxing, because the talent in Patricia, she does 2 in 1. She's in kickboxing and also the boxing part. So I said, why not? Why don't we help her? Because when I was the mayor in Kampala Central, I promised I'll be helping all sports activities where necessary, because we shall pass a budget as Council of Kampala Central Division.
Apollo appreciates Central Division and especially his worship, the Mayor Salim Uhuru, for this boost and urges a sanity among federations to enable sports grow.
Private companies that can sponsor athletes to come in to sponsor us as we go into our journey of sport, in order to make sure that we bring more accolades to the country and we can sell the country beyond. I also want to ask the office of the mayor to help us speak to the National Council and all these other federations to stop having wrangles. It affects us, the sports people.
Uganda will be represented by more than 40 athletes for this championship, with others expected from clubs like prisons, police and Uganda People's Defence Forces. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
Yes, with John Barnes, Sentamo bringing us to the end of this first edition. We'll have a look at the top stories before we close.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Education Minister Janet Museveni wants a reinvestigation on girl-child abuse in homes. Stakeholders concerned over violence on the girl child. Higher Education Students Financing Board opens applications for the 8th cohort. While Kampala Central Division boosts kickboxer Patricia Apollo's title defense chances.
Was brought to you by Everywhere You Go, MTN.
Yes, thank you so much for watching. We'll take a very short break. On return, I'll have an interface with Minister for ICT and National Guidance, that's the Honorable Dr. Chris Bariomunsi, where we're going to have a general look at a number of issues. I would term it as state of affairs in our country, looking at a number of issues that are of public interest. So do not go anywhere. Let's first enjoy this short break.
Warm welcome. I hope you've had a good start off of the week, this being a Monday. I'm Zempa Alex came with the weather forecast from the Weather Center. It has been widespread rainfall with thunder across the eastern, the central and the western of the country. And by 9 a.m. This morning, various parts of the country reported rainfall, like Kampala reported 48.1 millimeters, while Namlonge reported 42.5, Kalengere 28.1, and Gulu reported 21.6 millimeters. Now, the kind of weather we are seeing across the country is mainly attributed to the ridging over South Africa that is partly continental but pushing in moist winds across our region, and this is coupled with winds coming in from the Congo forests into our region, together with the alignment of the rain belt over our region. So tomorrow morning we do expect to see most parts of the country have chances of rainfall, though it will be quite thundering across the central of the country as well as parts along the Lake Victoria Basin. But in the afternoon we do expect still a pickup of rainfall activities in most parts of the country, and we do expect to be quite thundering in the western sector of the country as well as parts of the central. And because of that, we do expect temperatures to be a little bit cool at 28 degrees centigrade. That will be across Karamoja region. The nation's capital, Kampala, at 24, and in Kabale Highlands will be quite cold at only 22 degrees centigrade. And elsewhere across the globe, we are forecasting some chances of rainfall in Tokyo at a daytime high of 22 degrees centigrade, whereas London is expected to be quite cold at only 16 degrees centigrade, with Mombasa being at 31 degrees centigrade. With that, we wrap it up. Join us again tomorrow, same time.
I smile when I think of you, Uganda, my home. My home, I dance when I look at you, Uganda, my home. Oh, my Uganda.
I know with you I'll always stay forever. I know, because I feel that we belong together. My home. On my heart, mommy, oh my Uganda.
Hey, mama. At MTN, we look